All right, sweet. It's 12 o'clock. What's going on, everybody? So we're going to do, the reason that Brendan's up here is because he likes these two questions, and I'm going to ask them in the order that I like to ask them in. I don't remember what.
And I will be here judging his every move.
Harshly. Who here has never been to a MAGFest event before? Raise your hand.
Wow.
That's incredible.
We're kind of surprised by that every year.
That is a lot of hands. Well, welcome to MAGFest. We're going to party really, really hard.
1.5. Stand up with that donut and everyone look at it.
Yeah, look at that inflatable donut. Hell yeah.
Shit.
That's awesome. Now, all right. The other side of that question, who here has been to a MAGFest event before? Raise your hands. Welcome home, nerds. Let's do this. We have an absolutely bananas year this year. A donut-filled year, really. Oh my God, I can't even wait. This is going to be super fun. Who's going to the pink ball tonight? Yeah, because if you're not, that's a mistake. I assure you that that's a mistake. The Soul Bros and Kirby's Dream Band on the same stage, that's not even legal in 5 states. I checked.
Hey, Adam,
you do not have to wear pink. It's just strongly encouraged. That's all.
Before we get sidetracked, let's get sidetracked.
Okay.
All of you people that raised your hand because you've never been here, who of you are actually kind of intimidated by all of this?
That's fair.
Okay, that's so people now everyone that's been here before, raise your hand again. People who just raised your hand before, make friends with one of these people.
Yeah.
Because this is your new family.
Yeah.
They will not kidnap you and drive you to undisclosed locations. They may take you to their room for a party.
Sorry that we just made your life way cooler, but this is, we're your family now. That's the way this has always kind of been. It's
Don't
awesome.
be worried.
The number one thing you can do at MAGFest is make friends with awesome people that you'll see twice a year and be friends with on Facebook forever. Because whether it's the person that you see that gives you an awesome trick on how to get through Contra without getting hit once, I want to meet that person still. But or you know, the person you're hanging out with next to at concerts that's really getting into the same vibe that you're getting into. Just make new friends. That's what this whole thing's all about. We're all here just to hang out and have a party and play some video games and listen to some cool music, right? I mean, that's we're all here for the same reason. So everybody should just party together. The other question that he really likes asking is, who here, raise your hand if you are from 50 miles away or closer. Raise your hand if you're between 50 miles and 100 miles. Raise your hand if you're between 100 miles and 500 miles. Yeah.
Solid.
That's incredible. Raise your hand if you are 500 plus miles away from home. That's awesome. That's incredible.
Who came from another country? Awesome.
Okay.
You folks are awesome.
Thank you for giving us some demographics on our attendees.
Yeah, for sure. Who here is coming from outside of North America?
Well,
1, okay. 2. What can I ask? What countries? Australia?
in my
Hell
opinion,
yeah.
that's very awesome.
Dude rode a kangaroo all the way here. That's so cool. Okay, it's okay, I get it. You have a friend, and he exists. He's definitely right there. Where did you come from, O-pointed one? Israel.
Awesome.
That's awesome too. Holy shit. Man. That's really, thank you guys both for coming. That's really, really awesome. And spread the word in your home countries, and who knows, maybe in 10 years we'll have a MAGFest on your turf instead. I'm trying to do MAGFest World. Who's in? All right. So we've got a lot of stuff to cover. It's pretty much all in Guidebook. If you're just joining us here, download the program for your phone, Guidebook. It's amazing. It has our entire schedule. It's exactly up to date. We can update that live. We take the schedules that we have to print, but obviously once they're printed, if something changes, that becomes an inaccurate document. Guidebook is updated on the fly. So if something changes, it moves to a different room, it changes the time, we're falling behind, we can update it immediately. You can also set your own schedule. You can pick the stuff that you want to do, and it builds you a custom schedule, and it'll give you reminders and all kinds of stuff. So definitely use Guidebook. Another big thing that I like to discuss is the MAGFest Code of Conduct. Who here has read that beast of a document? That's awesome. I email those people back. No. Okay, so Nick does them too. Who got a reply email from Big Adam years ago? That's how I got Justin on staff. I used to write glowing tales of like heroic just guardians who fight the evils of anti-party and ride their golden diamond encrusted steeds across lands of magic, and it was ridiculous. I got really bored. We got like 7 of them a year. Nobody wants to read the big document, but you should read the Code of Conduct. It's got a huge section on harassment policy, and that's something that's been pretty prevalent over the last couple years. People are really interested to know kind of where our line is and where we're handling that kind of stuff. We have it very clearly laid out in the Code of Conduct. That being said, we are a safe space. If you don't feel safe, if you have an issue, if you're having any kind of problem, and you need it to be taken care of, anybody wearing one of the red MAGFest staffing shirts, that means that they are on shift, and they are to help you in any way, shape, or form. If they can't help you directly, they will point you in the right direction. Do not shy away from asking for help for any given reason. That's what we're here for. That's what we do. The goal is for everybody to party and everybody to have a good time, not at the expense of each other. Does that make sense? So yeah, and if you're having an immediate problem, absolutely, 911 definitely works here. I would suggest also talking to MAGFest security or the Dorsai. Anybody in one of our orange or red security vests? Do we have yellow this year too?
Yellow or general staff.
Okay, so red or orange vests are going to be our security staff. Again, bring up the issues to them. They will assist you in any way that they can. Again, the whole goal is for everybody to be safe, everybody to feel welcome. Let's all become best friends and party forever. That's all I want.
And also one quick note is that you can the Dorsai are open and available 24 hours a day out of Camellia 2. So you can always check in with them there if you need assistance.
Absolutely. All right, so that kind of stuff is out of the way. So let's talk about the party and how much fun we're going to have. Who here last year got to take part in using the battle pods in the arcade? Yeah, they're back. And we are going to battle pod up a storm, and it's going to be amazing. I would bring a bucket. It's BYO bucket. Yeah, do that. Bring a bucket for sure. Who here grew up in the 90s era and saw the TV show Nick Arcade? Who here knows that we have MAGFest Versus, which recreates that? And who here knows that Phil Moore, the host of Nick Arcade, is hosting this year? Yeah, that's happening.
And now you all do.
Yeah. That's going to be incredible. I want to meet him. I haven't met him yet. I want to shake that dude's hand. I watched every single episode of Nick Arcade like 35 times. Because that show was amazing. It was the 90s, and they could put you in a video game. And I was like, that's magic. I don't know how they're doing that, but that is sorcery. This year's also the return of the king himself, John St. John. Yeah. He's here. He's probably sleeping still. I don't think... John, are you in here? Oh, is he up? haven't seen him yet, that jerk. Tisk. We've got all kinds of music this year. There's like 60 or 70 musical acts in total this year. It's crazy. Who's going to check out the Mega Manathon? Are you guys familiar with the Mega Manathon? They got started at the same time as this panel. For those of you that don't know, that is a live stream that goes out on Twitch for 72 hours straight. And they started 10 minutes ago. And they're going to be playing Mega Man games for 72 hours, except for 4-hour breaks at night. And they're going to be running their own concert series where they're going to have a bunch of awesome bands. My favorite of which is going to have to be the X-Hunters are playing the Mega Manathon stage. So if you're trying to get a little metal in your life, head over there on, I believe it's Friday night. It's in Guidebook. Check it out. Oh, when is that? Is that Friday? Friday night at Mega Manathon also. Good, thank you, Christian. MAGFest is having an event at Mega Manathon that we are trying to break a Guinness Book of World Records record. We are trying to have the most wizards in one area. The record is what, 253? And we're gonna just annihilate that. We were like, hey, video game, D&D, and book reading nerds alike, would you like to dress up as a wizard and party? And the answer was universally yes. Yeah, you're a wizard, MAGFest. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Man, we've got so much cool stuff going on. Download Guidebook. It's going to be awesome. Let's take some questions, because there's a lot of new people. And if you've got questions, I want to answer them. You're not a new person, Adam. But that's okay. I'll take your question anyway. What's a battle pod? What is a battle pod was the question. They are posted in the back of, it's either Arcade or the Indie Game Showcase. And it's an Indie? Okay. It's in the back of Indie, all the way against the back wall. And it is like a big VR game. It's not actually VR. It's you get into a pod that's got screens all around. And you're piloting a mech. And there's all different kinds of mechs and stuff like that, and you battle against one another. It's super legit. I didn't get to do it last year because I was too busy, but I'm not, unfortunately, if you guys only came to MAGFest for table flipping, I'm sorry, but you're gonna be heinously disappointed. We discontinued table flipping. Yeah, it's because it didn't make much money. Like, we put like 60, 70, 80 hours of man hours into like doing the event, and we would make like $2,000, and it was really disheartening. So instead, this year for charity, we brought in, who's familiar with the 501st? There's like almost 100 members of 501st coming out this year. In the expo hall, which opens at 2 o'clock. We're still on schedule for that, right, Colette? 2 o'clock?
You're asking me. Arcades is going to open at 5. Hall D opens at 5. Everybody else is ready to rock at 2.
Oh, sweet. Okay. So they've got Blast a Trooper, where you can use a modified Nerf gun that looks like a blaster and shoot stormtroopers. They've got one of those things where it looks like you're in one of the action figure packaging that you can take pictures in. They're setting up the hit game, the game that everybody has, wants, and desires, Battlefront 2, where you can play Battlefront against a stormtrooper, which is pretty cool. Yeah, you love that game. Everybody loves loot boxes, right? They're so garbage. God, the loot box thing. You guys are lucky because I have some old friends, I think one of them's staring at me right now, who had the idea to have a loot box as a charity auction item for a $5 or $10 mystery prize. And I assure you that I would hurt your feelings with that. So I thought they were all gone. We may have found a few. World of Warcraft trading cards are so unbelievably difficult to find right now. Here's the thing, I gave them away as garbage. they were literally just taking up space in my inventory. And I just gave them away, and now they're impossible to find. Oh, that's true. That's a good point. So I've got, who's here is familiar with the company Sanshi? They are awesome. They're one of our vendors this year. They're super awesome. They're moving warehouses this year, and they had a whole bunch of stuff in their warehouse that they didn't want to move to a new location. So they said, hey, little Steve, I've got a warehouse full of stuff that I just don't want. And Steve was like, yeah. So we got an entire pallet delivered of awesome stuff from Sanshi. ThinkGeek made a massive donation this year. I have tons of Star Wars stuff. I've got stuff from games that everyone loved, like the 2015 box office smash Evolve. If you see me walking around with a red scarf, I'm repping hard. That's the only game that I am aware of that went to free-to-play to try to salvage itself and somehow did worse. It was a mess. Yeah, does anybody have questions? Questions? No? Really? Not a single in the back? Oh, hey! Hi. Yeah, that's fine. Welcome, welcome.
Actually, Adam, can I do this?
Every year, why? It kills my soul just a little more every time.
Well, I think this might be a good opportunity.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, well, there's two things, because there's the thing at 8 tonight for Rob, too.
Well, yeah.
So this over the past year, unfortunately, MAGFest lost two very prominent staffers, two legendary people of MAGFest. Our buddy Rob Wilfong, who has been around forever. He helped with the super, super, super early days. He taught me some of the stuff I know, and I've been around for 13 years now. And then the guy who actually donated the 6-player X-Men arcade cab, Charles Margolis, passed away this year as well. So tonight, they're at 8 o'clock. If you want to do a Colossus Roar that is actually 100% okay with MAGFest, there is going to be a moment for them in the arcade at 8 p.m. And we're going to do an entire convention center-wide Colossus Roar in honor of Rob and Charles, and it's going to be awesome. We've also got a plaque that is made up for Charles that we're going to unveil. I think that's also tonight. That's going to be posted onto that X-Men arcade cab in memory of Charles. So,
to more directly answer your question in a short manner, Charles Margolis joined MAGFest maybe a good 10 plus years ago, and he was always helping us on the road at conventions, etc. Excuse me. And so it was always like, it's cool, man, I got a van, I'll help you out, or whatever.
Oh, man, the white van, I remember that.
He would bring if you ever saw us at like an anime con and we had a Dreamcast stand-up, that was his, and he would bring a lot of things and help us cart to a lot of places. The first time we ever went to Too Many Games was because he was able to drive and I didn't have a car at the time. There were a lot of great moments. So basically, eventually Charles was like, you know what, Brendan, I really want to help MAGFest. And I notice this is, again, 10 years ago. I notice you guys are always, like a little bit short on arcade machines. You could use some extras. I have a 6-player X-Men machine in my house in Manassas, and I'd like to donate it to MAGFest. And it was pretty incredible of him to offer that. And then when I got to his house, I saw that it was in his living room, and it literally could not go anywhere in the house. And so it was actually his centerpiece, like his coffee table in his living room. So he said, I would like to donate this to you on one condition, and that is, can I please attend MAGFest every year?
Yeah, he was the very first recipient of the
a lifer
MAGFest
badge.
Golden Ticket,
Yeah.
which is free MAGFest for life.
So we broke his door jamb getting the machine out of his house, and he didn't. Well, he eventually found out, but I was gonna. Well, no, he was there to break the door jamb. He eventually found out that I would have given him the lifer badge anyway. So we finally get it to MAGFest. It was like MAGFest 6 or 7
6. Yeah.
whatever, and
I'll never forget when it
put it
started,
in the
trust me.
hallway, and we started the machine up, and everything was in pretty good shape. We got some pots tweaked on one of the monitors so that they matched up and they were equal brightness, and Buffet helped us out. If he's around here, shout outs to him. But so if you know anything about the X-Men arcade machine, it's that it's a beat 'em up, right? And you've got like punch and jump, but then you've got a mutant power, and every character has a mutant power. And Colossus's mutant power is to flash and yell at people. To make a long story short, so several people were very quick to discover this button and just. It's unlimited credits, so even if you're limited in lives, you can just restart and have more mutant powers. And so the Colossus Roar is basically stemmed out of people that would not stop pressing that button. And
it's 12 years old now. Maybe it's time to put that to rest. God, it's always someone's terrorism. It's so bad. I hate it. That's not a good word to use at all, but I hate that thing so much.
I like his version better. It's always someone's first time.
Yeah.
That was nice.
Man.
When you are in the hotel room areas, to repeat something that Nick has said, please use Nightcrawler instead, which is...
it's way quieter.
Yeah.
Use that always, please. We tried to institute for a really long time that used the Nightcrawler the Nightcrawler thing at MAGFest proper, and outside of MAGFest at other people's events, I'll do the roar, go crazy. I don't have to deal with that shit. So we should keep doing that. That's a good game plan. No, but seriously, in the atrium, if you guys are caught doing that kind of stuff, you'll be asked to be quiet, and if you don't listen, we'll have to take it from there. Keep it out of super public places. We have 95% of the building in hotel rooms, but not 100.
No, there's quick introduction. My name is Colette. I'm the hotel liaison. Thank you. We have essentially all of the hotel rooms. The Gaylord learned several years ago not to let anybody else in over our weekend. So
imagine that.
But still, believe it or not, there are some of you that do want to get to sleep at some point. So,
who was here for the astronomers convention during MAGFest? They learned. Even though some of the astronomers came up to us and were like, "You guys know how to party." Ooh. There was a couple people. I can say this now because it happened a couple years ago and
4 years ago. But yeah.
The wedding?
The wedding?
Yeah, I don't think you know about this. There was a military family wedding in this room in the Cherry Blossom. We didn't have access to this at all. And they had the whole gazebo area blocked off as a private event for the wedding, right? It just happened to be during MAGFest. So the wedding party, after their reception time was done, just in military gear and whatnot, found a couple people from MAGFest and ended up just having a room party and made their wedding reception last way longer. And then the next day, a couple of the people from that wedding party bought MAGFest badges and hung out with us for the rest of the weekend.
Yeah.
Oh man, which one? That's happened a couple years. That was when they blocked off the entire floor.
Okay, it's very public knowledge now. It wasn't when it was an issue like 3-4 years back. The Gaylord is the official home of the Washington Redskins when they are here for home games. So there's, part of my job is to also have the fun of watching the Redskins in December to see if they make it to the playoffs, because if there is a home playoff game the first weekend of January, then I will be getting a call from the hotel saying, okay, we got to work this out. It's happened, I know of once. I'm not a Redskins fan. I'm a New England Patriots fan because I was born in Boston. And so I won't lie that when I always see them tank in December, I'm like, oh, thank God. So, but they're not here this weekend. They're all down in like Florida or wherever they're getting a break with.
Who likes dad jokes? So
How did you go from the
Colette
hotel
is
to
trying to
that?
say is all of the arcade machines are downstairs on free play, so the only quarterback you'll see is a football player.
Don't be putting those words in my
There it
mouth,
is.
man.
It was
That's
a
all you.
slow burn. It was a slow burn. Okay. Nailed it. Nailed it. I was just given a correction, by the way. I said that the memorial thing was at 8 o'clock. I was mistaken.
It's 8 for Rob and 8:30
It's at
for...
Okay, because I was just messaged that it's at 6.
What both? There's the one for Charles is at 8:30. We're meeting at 8:30 at the 6-person.
also has one.
Rob has one at that's
6:45.
45.
5:45 to 6. Yeah.
Yeah.
5:45 meetup for Rob. 8 o'clock meetup for Charles. That's what it is.
We can do this, we
Yeah,
promise.
we can do this. It's no big deal. Questions? Is MAG Underground happening?
We don't have the shiz. We have the community curated stage. It's in the same room, and so is Jam Space. We ran out of room this year, so we kind of squished them together.
Sorry, guys. We had too much awesome content to fit in the same building.
Yeah, it's become.
We'll try to do better. No, it's MAG Underground was just the name of it that year. It's still a community curated stage, just done by other groups this year. We're going to try to cycle the groups as cleanly and yearly as possible to give everybody a fair shot at it. That's all.
Yeah, because we have too many communities. We have so
Too many
communities
people
that
want to put
make-
on amazing content that
make
take up
music.
too much space at our hotel.
That
That's
we,
amazing, by the way. This
want-
building's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I love the people that are like, move, and I'm like, where? Stupid. We can't go anywhere else.
Yeah, they're like, we should go to the convention center or something. But
Yeah,
that's
who
not-
here's a fan of the idea of MAGFest no longer being 24 hours? Not a single hand. Then when people say we should move venues, tell them that they are dumb.
No, that they don't understand.
Yeah, they don't get the
It-
logistics behind it. It's a
like,
virtual nightmare.
This is like a magical place here.
It really
It's
is.
what they allow us to do, and that we can.
And that's all her fault. She did it all. She made us
all-
awesome here.
It's our.
And now
all
it's not just like, what does the Gaylord let us get away with? It's like the Gaylord's like, let's party. We want to party. I'm ready. Like, can we please just party? And we're like, yeah, Gaylord, we got this. We're gonna party. It's fine.
And I will say, as far as Gaylord is concerned, MAGFest is the best way they can think of starting out their year. So, and that is because of you guys, the attendees. They really love having us here. Be nice to the staff. Please, tip your housekeepers. Just say thank you. They're really enjoying having you here. They are. I mean, we work them pretty hard when we're here. It's a crazy full house group, but they really enjoy having us here, and that's because you guys are just a great crowd to have. So thank you very much.
You know how you see MAGFest staff and they're wearing, or not MAGFest staff, Gaylord staff, and they're wearing MAGFest shirts? That's not because they're told to do that.
No.
They actually love us.
We
And-
actually have to tell people to take the shirts off and wash them and stuff.
We haven't figured out why they like us so much, but we'll get to it. That's on your plate. So
We make them
yeah.
money.
No.
You're not supposed to be literal about it. That's the joke.
Sorry.
Hey, that person is Steph. Everyone say you're awesome, Steph.
Steph is the reason that numbers do for MAGFest. I mean, that's pretty much nailed it.
I'm division director of programming.
Oh, that too.
I'm head of guests. I make the guidebook, and I'm the bookkeeper.
The bookkeeper, that's the big one, at least for me.
And boy, did we need one of those.
Yeah.
I'm more behind the scenes person, so this is the only time I like to come out is here in closing ceremonies, so that's it.
Then give another round of applause to Steph. She's the best ever.
Yeah.
Also,
That's it. I don't.
one person that is here that has made a huge dent in charity, and the entire department owes a whole lot to him. Huey, if you'd stand up. Round of applause for Huey.
Hey, Huey! Yay!
None of us, MAGFest really wouldn't exist without that guy. I haven't figured out why that's the case, but it's all for you, Huey. He's taken this year off. He told me to die in a fire, and I said, take a year off. And he was like, all right, maybe not in a fire then.
Just some really hot coals.
Oh, sorry. Do we have any other questions? I have a question. Sure, Huey.
What's all this donut stuff?
It's not a donut. It is a donut. It is a donut, but it's not a donut.
So, the donut stuff.
Do you want to explain?
Where's, I actually don't know where Hoodie
That's
is.
awesome. That is awesome right there.
So, who here is familiar with President Hoodie? The guy that helps run the music department.
Maybe I should introduce Hoodie since I convinced him to come here.
I need to find him anyway.
Go ahead.
So around MAGFest 7 or 8 or something like that, I ran a radio show for MAGFest. And it was really, it really just consisted of me like having a couple drinks, playing game music, and like trying to get people to talk on IRC. But this guy from Arkansas just kind of showed up and started running his mouth. And we...
He hasn't.
To this day, hasn't stopped.
And you've heard him running his mouth on the MAGFest social media, so I told him, obviously, the radio show was sort of to promote MAGFest, and I was like, hey, people, you should go to MAGFest, and started telling them about it and that sort of thing, and he's like, you know what would be great? If you got a Samus cosplayer. And I was like, well, I think there might be a couple of those at MAGFest. Maybe you should just come and see, and whatever. And so it took maybe a good 3 to 4 years of me emailing back and forth with this guy from Arkansas to come to MAGFest, because that's how you convince people to come to MAGFest in the old days.
Yeah, just harass the shit out of them until they come
pretty much.
here.
And so
they drink a cup of the Kool-Aid and they're like, MAGFest, MAGFest, MAGFest. Yeah, you guys know.
So fast forward to him coming, and he's been convinced by Metroid Metal. Anyone heard of them? Metroid Metal is not yet, or has just become a real band. Like, they used to be a project band, right? And he's like, oh my God, I have to go to MAGFest and meet Metroid Metal and whatever. He was really active on their forums and running his mouth over there too. So he shows up at MAGFest and just like loves the shit out of it, because that's what we all do at MAGFest. And just won't stop talking, and jumps on staff, and so he just has moments of, I don't know, you could call them moments of clarity, and you could also call them the exact opposite of that, where he just kind of says, MAGFest is a donut, and suddenly it's a meme, because he says
really
it in this like
on Facebook.
He was
Brandon.
super drunk on Facebook.
He was super drunk, and he
so
was just
drunk.
like really excited. He has this like excited attitude
Personality.
that just kind of pulls
excited.
you
He's
in,
great.
and everyone's like, yes, Brandon, MAGFest is a donut, and like it didn't
And then started
stop.
the Great Donut War for like 2 years.
It's kind of like the Colossus Roar.
We have pages on the website, magfest.org/isadonut and magfest.org/isnotadonut. Those are
there
it
was
got
like
that
a
far.
civil war over pastries.
And then when we were coming up with the theme this year, it was like and the funny thing is the war between is and is not a donut, the two leaders of that war are Brandon Hood and his wife. She was like, it is definitely, because after he had did it and it sparked, he was like, it's not a donut. No, that's stupid. I was just drunk and being dumb. Not a donut. And his wife was like, oh no, it's a donut. So it went back and forth for years. They posted, I think MAGFest retweeted or reposted it too. They posted a video of how they explained both sides of the argument when they were leaving MAGFest 2 years ago at the airport. So imagine two people at an airport 2 years ago filming themselves on a cell phone camera talking about whether this random event that no one else in the airport probably knows about is or is not a pastry. But Hoodie doesn't care. If you see him this year, he's hard to miss. He's got neon pink hair. Yeah, his hair is neon
Like a Simpsons
pink.
donut, you know?
He had his hair done like 2 days ago, so it's fresh. And his wife has green hair. I think Aaron's it's okay,
it's
like a
aqua,
bluish green,
whatever.
something like that, yeah. But if you see them, be like, are you President and Mrs. President Hoodie?
She's First Lady.
And that First Lady Rin,
She's
right?
First Lady Room.
And they will say, of course, and then they will talk to you for probably like an hour. And I'm sorry to have done that.
Depends on how much he's
Oh, with the literal. Unless they have to use the facilities. No, of course. I get it. But they'll talk to you for a while. They're awesome people. Give them a high five. Thank them. They do a ton of work for
They do.
the music department. Oh, my God.
And, you could talk to Rin about spreadsheets if you like spreadsheets.
Oh, yeah, if you're a big fan of spreadsheets.
Oh, my God.
Because everybody comes to MAGFest for a little Excel on the side, if you know what I'm saying.
It is so
Would
fun.
you say we
She's
excel
so
at that?
Just be like, hey, I'm going to give you a V lookup later. Just walk away. It was horrible, I know. You don't have to judge me. Good Lord. Does anybody have any other questions? Sure. That's a good question. I don't know.
That's a great question. I don't know the
I think once upon a time
There are
were
somewhere
6 to 8.
between 0 and 100, we'll say.
I'm going to go with
That's
2
our
to
guess.
3
It's
for
probably
sure.
2 or 3, and they're
They're
supply
smaller now.
caches.
We used to they were created back at M6, and he made them it was the guy
5 actually.
Hector Martinez.
Hector Martinez, yeah.
Hex
Hex.
made them, and he made them out of cardboard, and then that's what we initially used, and then we started getting real ones, but they were real small. So we have.
So the question was,
How many treasure
how many
chests
treasure
are there?
chests are there available at MAGFest? Super MAGFest 2018 in lovely National Harbor, Maryland.
And it's the video game collector edition of find a penny, take a penny, leave a penny, grab a penny, need a penny, whatever. So if you've got something cool and you want to leave it for someone to find, please
Find a treasure
know,
box.
like condoms or whatever, be real about it. You know.
Please.
So at
Leave
MAGFest
something
6,
reasonable
Be clean,
and
clean
cool
about
for
it.
someone.
At
and
MAGFest
look
6,
for
I found the
something
coolest
cool.
thing ever, and I was amped about it, and I didn't eat it, but I should have on principle. It was at MAGFest 6. It was the first year at the Hilton Mark Center, and I walked up. It was like 4 in the morning, and I was very tired.
I have
go
a
with
feeling
that.
I know what this is.
And I opened up a treasure box, getting onto the elevator to go back up to my room. And when I opened the treasure box, you know those metal water pitchers that they normally have on like presentation tables up here? It was one of those, but it was filled with cooked ramen. And it was still hot.
It was fresh.
And there was a fork just gently placed on top. So when I opened it, it was like that scene from Pulp Fiction when he opens up it's like, whoo! And I had just a life-changing decision to make at that point. It's like, do I definitely get dysentery right now?
You had died from this.
Or do I leave this delicious treat by itself? And I left it behind because I had to host the auction the next morning, and I didn't want to be like, who's got $5 on a... That'd be horrible. My auction's already bad enough.
Check your messages.
We have another hand up here. Please ask.
What, Paul? Sitting over there, Paul wants me to check my messages. Hang tight, guys.
You can ask your question while he's...
We've already
Playing
done
with
that,
his
Paul.
We did
Paul
it right
wants
at the
you all
beginning.
to know. Stand up, Paul. Paul's the president of the board of directors. I'm going to give him his moment. He wants everyone to know vehemently that participation is how you MAGFest. So get involved. Build something, make something, play music, play a game. Become
stuff.
friends with everyone. Remind people to wash their hands because this flu season sucks. Wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands. Shower once a day. Get 6 hours of sleep. If you're not
Don't
doing
forget
those
to eat
things,
2
if
meals.
you're not doing those things, you think that you're excelling hardcore at MAGFest when really you're falling behind, man. 6 hours of sleep, a daily shower, at least 2 meals, preferably 3 meals, and wash the shit out of your hands. That's how you live here. That's what you got to do. Yeah. That's a good point.
We had another question right here.
Participate. Yeah.
Follow-up to the question that she asked, what are we not allowed to put in these boxes? Because I've gotten some questionable stuff.
Anything
Use-
that's PG-13 or higher does not go in the box.
So yeah, there's
Yeah.
there's a difference between like
No,
what you
right,
should and
people do
shouldn't,
break
and
the
what
rules.
other people do.
Judgment.
So yeah, so what goes in the treasure chest should be cool and like family friendly or something. But
Remember,
Leave
it's
cool
not
collectibles.
always
leave
people
games.
are going to be assholes and break the rules, right? So you're going to find garbage in there sometimes. But sometimes you'll find like an awesome shirt or like a toy or
Yeah,
something
Danielle
awesome.
will put
Yeah.
so she'll ask for like donations to the
Be
treasure chest
responsible.
thing. So
So yeah,
Be responsible
from the
everywhere,
vendors.
please.
So,
So
sometimes
we've
the vendors, like,
adopted-
throw something cool in there, and it's like all
we've
right.
adopted one rule from PAX, and it's the best thing that PAX ever put on their badges, and it's still on their badges, and we will do this forever. And it's called the Wheaton Law. And raise your hand if you're familiar with the Wheaton Law. Okay, a couple people. Translated, the law simply states, don't be a dick. Seriously. We're all here to be friends. We're all here to party. We're all here to have a good time. Again, we're all here for the same reasons. Don't be a dick. If you feel like being a dick, go like punch a pillow in your room or do something,
Pretty please don't.
Oh, it's just a pillow. You punch the pillow that you brought from home in your
punch
hotel
the pillow.
room.
Yeah, I thought you said like cut the pillow.
No,
Sorry.
not cut the pillow.
Pillow.
Who
What
the
kind of shit
just-
are you into?
Who's like, man, I just lost that game of Tekken Tag Tournament. Time to slice a pillow. Like, nobody does that.
Okay, no, that's good. Just being sure.
If this was
Swiss Army
Tekken
knife
Tag
says
Tournament
you've
2,
been bad.
I would have won. Damn the timer. I don't know.
Hey,
Yeah.
we've got a hand back here. You want to stand up and yell it?
I'm pretty sure it was chicken, if I remember correctly, which made it way harder to leave behind. I got to be honest.
Scribbles.
Hand
what's
over
up?
here.
Bless you.
Did everyone catch that? Talk to
is-
that guy if you want to
that's
volunteer.
Scribbles.
It's
Go book
fun.
him.
You
Yeah.
get perks.
If you want to volunteer for MAGFest staff, we can't get enough of that. There's a lot of people that only have a couple hours that they can dedicate as a volunteer to like be a gopher or something like that.
That's fine.
We need those kind of people. We need the people to be able to go do stuff like that. We also need people that are super skilled in most of our departments. If you can only give 2 or 3 hours, that's awesome. If you can give more than that and you want like a free t-shirt or comp badge or even a free hotel room, like
Eventually.
that's eventually. Is there any more literal things?
I do need the mic after this, so yeah.
Make sure that you get hooked up with Scribbles, and he will get you set up in the volunteer system. We will put you where you're going to be good at something, wherever you're most comfortable. And who knows, maybe you can find a home here with us on staff. That'd be awesome.
Okay. I'll get to your question in just a second. I'm sorry. I have a few things.
Steph needs the mic.
Sorry, I have a few things. I'm sorry. Do you know about the ACL or ASL services this year? Did you guys mention that? We have ASL services, so if they're just off to the side at like the concert hall or like in a panels one, not right now, but
Well, they were here, but there was nobody that needed the service, so they left.
oh, okay, cool, okay. as long
Yeah.
as,
If
as long as
you have a
people are
friend
aware
or you yourself
who is hard of hearing.
are good at signing,
Or people who
or
are
you
deaf.
know somebody who is deaf who needs that kind of assistance, we do have ASL translators for all of our main panels and our concerts. So yeah.
So
next thing.
feel free to ask.
Hang on. Okay, so next thing. I am still updating the guidebook a little bit. So there's these sheets on here. So there's going to be a feedback section in guidebook, and there's a bunch of questions, and it would be really awesome if we could get feedback on, like, good feedback, bad feedback, whatever, like, just constructive criticism would be the best. Because we're still just people, and we're not like some big corporate thing. We're not trying to mess with stuff, and we know about the hotels, and we know about the parking, and we're doing our best, I promise. But, like, when it comes down to, like, the events here and, like, how it's running and stuff like that, we just want to be able to improve and make everybody happy. So when I finish and put that in there, it'd be really great if you guys could do that. I'm sorry, I'm slow on the guidebook. I have a lot of
Quit
stuff to do.
apologizing. Keep reading.
I still haven't put in Paul's panels. I need to put in some Paul panels.
Paul
Sorry.
panels.
He's like, whatever.
Apparently, there's a
but-
religion about Paul now. You'll learn more later. Just go to one of the things that say Paul.
If you see anything that's labeled "We Are Paul," go to that.
We're all Paul.faith, I think, right?
It
I
is.
think that's what they're, yeah.
We are all Paul.faith is a real thing.
Yeah,
One of our
because
guys bought it.
internet.
Have you found Paul yet? It was, so there's these Paul panels, and it just says Paul on them. And at one point, like, there were just people, like, it's late night, it's like 2 or 3 in the morning or whatever, and just some random empty room. So you just walk in, and I remember, so Paul normally tells the story, but I'm telling it now. Be quiet. I'm telling them the...
We've only got 14 minutes. So
Sorry, never mind. So people were just in the Paul panel, and because Paul never showed up, they started trying to figure out who Paul was, and then they realized that they were all Paul. And
they had a real come to Jesus moment.
so now we are all Paul.
We are all Paul.
There was even a guy going around and then like gave you like, hello, my name is, and they all said Paul on them. So
Yeah.
we just walked around.
That was
Good.
amazing.
It was amazing. It was
That
great.
kind of stuff organically happens at MAGFest like every year. There's always like, and try to be a part of the crazy thing, because we will talk about it at opening ceremonies. Like one year, Paul just like was super tired and like slept through a panel or was taking care of some kind of problem or something, and
Oh, it's a philosophical conversation, I think.
and he wasn't able to go, and then a religion was born. Meet new
as
people,
one does.
Meet new people, participate in things, become part of legend. That's how it works.
Yeah, because the stuff just happens. You don't even.
Yeah.
That's what the soapbox room is. Also, it just happens.
The soapbox room. Oh my God.
that
Who
was-
participated in soapbox last year? That was the best organized cluster F that has ever happened. It was insanity, and the people running it this year are the people that made it crazy last year. And I cannot wait to see what they do with it. Because we've been waiting, these people have been waiting for MAGFest to be like, okay, you guys can do something crazy. And we gave them a very small room with a very smaller PA system and said, go wild, but not too wild. And they're like, no, we got this, don't worry about it, we're good. And it's gonna be chaos.
Hey,
A lot of that has to do with Huey. Again, round of applause for Huey. He's integral to the soapbox, to charity. I'm pretty sure he does international relations. I don't know what's happening anymore.
Actually, we have to do one shout out definitely. So
Do you have anything else on your list?
it's the King Donut thing. It's about King Donut.
we,
So
we
it's where
explained
King
it.
Donut actually came from. It came from our graphic design guy. It
Oh,
came from
oh,
Adam
oh.
Hoffman, and because he makes all of our promo stuff. So while he was making our flyer, he just was like, and starring King Donut. The King Donut didn't look the way he does now. He like just was there, and it was just like we loved it. So we like changed how we looked and like perfected it, and we're just like, now we have King Donut, but he created him like thin air.
Well, the donut thing came years before that.
Well, no, the
but
donut thing,
yeah,
just King Donut
King
specifically,
Donut came
that
from
guy,
Adam Hoffman.
the little,
yeah.
and now he's our endpoints, and there was that's a crazy tier. But
Yeah.
yeah, there's the plushie.
Do you have anything else on your list?
Well, I wanted I was hoping somebody could thank
I have a thing.
Adam, but never mind. We could do that later.
Adam Hoffman, you literally just
Bulldozer
did.
also has the thing.
I know. I'm going to get to him. I saw him. He looks insane right now. I didn't miss that.
Brilliant.
So let's just do that now then,
this
because you
thing.
called attention.
Yeah, I think I'm good. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, thank
So
you.
who here has heard of the MAGFest Hardcore Championship? All right, well, y'all are about to get learned. There was an actual MAGFest Hardcore Championship belt made this year.
Yeah.
And the whole thing is, whoever's holding the belt, hardcore rules apply. 24 hours a day. You can challenge them to a gaming tournament of your choosing, and they either put up or give over the belt.
You could rock,
Brother.
paper, scissors.
You're gonna be looking for this guy right here. Okay? Anyone that has this belt, you challenge them to any damn game you want. Catchers, tabletops, Ramshambo. I don't give a shit. They have to accept the challenge. There are rules.
Is that Hector?
The Weibo law. Don't be a
Hector.
dick.
Hector.
The Wheaton Law. Don't be a dick, ever.
I just talked about you. You were just.
So, like, if it's a bigger guy, don't be like push-ups, asshole. Like, don't
If I've got the belt and you challenge me to push-ups, I'm kicking you in the shin.
There's a few rules. If you lose the belt, you instantly have you instantly have a rematch clause. If you lose your rematch, you can't re-challenge for the belt for 15 minutes. That's it. The belt cannot leave National Harbor. If you're leaving, give it to a friend, lose in paper, rock, scissors. It doesn't matter. There's codes and websites, the law of your win. You bring this back at closing ceremonies, you get a $300 custom-made belt.
So if you think you're hardcore enough, step it up.
And win that shit.
There is, we have our own Facebook group, the MAGFest Hardcore Gaming Title, that's going to have all the information. There's tiles on here so you can track where the hell it is. We're also working on getting up on a couple of the sites for MAGFest as well.
Sorry.
I wasn't throwing you under the bus.
But it is my fault.
It is going to be on the MAGFest unofficials. We're going to be putting as many posts as we can on MAGFest unofficials, the Facebook group, and the MAGFest Hardcore Gaming Title. And my mask keeps sliding into my mouth. So, fuck yeah. Don't be a dick. Don't hide it. If we see you hiding it under your shirt, all these people and more people are looking for that belt. And if you're hiding it, we're taking it from you. And you can try to get it back, but you're going to have to fight for it. Be cool. Don't be a dick. Bring this back, and you get this, guys. I won the last one at Mad Labs on a coin flip. Shit got real. All right. Bryant is the first hardcore champion of MAGFest 2018. You challenge him once this is done, and you guys can do any game you want. You can do group challenges. You can see if you can have a mask that doesn't go into your goddamn mouth. If you see someone with that belt, hit it. Also, everyone download the Tile app right now. And like I said, we're going to put the stuff on there. It works on Bluetooth. So if you have the Tile app and you walk by it, anyone, it'll show you the most recent location. So there's no cheating on this bullshit. You're not going to Norman Smiley
And seriously, do not. That belt does not leave Gaylord property. For real.
Wow.
They've worked on this for a long time. Don't screw it up for everybody.
This is about $330 for shipping and handling. It was custom made in Pakistan. As much as the belt. But seriously, guys, this has about $200 worth of technology in it. I know it looks like shit, and it's supposed to because of the hardcore belt, but there's like 2 really expensive tiles and GPS trackers on it. So please don't steal this shit, because don't screw it up for everyone. But seriously, guys, everyone have a good time. I'm actually staffing right now, so I gotta run away. I love you guys. Let this shit get crazy!
Good luck.
That was
All right, I'm going to take a couple more questions.
Hector. Hector was the guy who made the treasure chests.
Oh, yeah,
That was
that's
that
Hex.
guy.
Yo.
Hector right there.
Hex, I got to hang out with you later, dude. We haven't hung out in a long time. We'll make it happen.
Yeah, where you been?
You have a question.
You've been in Florida.
Tile. Tile. Tile.
It's those things that like when you lose your keys.
Yeah, they're made for like to put on the back of your remotes or something like that so you can track it in your house, or your keys, like she said. Oh, no, Tile, Tile. Does anybody else have any questions?
Oh,
It's on all of the smartphone stores.
It was the guy in the far back. I'm so sorry. I did not mean to forget about you. I'm the worst.
It's not up there yet. It will be later. Just look for
I
the
got
Paul
news
panel
for you.
later.
You are already in
Like,
that
it's my
train.
fault. Again, everything is my fault.
Hold
Just
on.
blame me.
Yeah, we've got 5 minutes. I
Wow,
don't want
that is
this.
awesome.
I don't want this to run
Thank
over.
you.
So I'm gonna rein it in. Any other questions? Go ahead. So we did attendee run tournaments. Those entries have already gone past. But keep an eye out on all of our social media and everything. We do announce. We do have an entire schedule of attendee run tournaments.
Do request to run tournaments before MAGFest, and
Yes.
you can probably make it happen.
Yeah, for sure. Questions? Go ahead. Hints on charity auction stuff.
Oh, I have an answer to a different question.
While you're thinking,
How is that applicable at all?
Because I think of awesome stuff.
I'd like to
I'm
shout
sorry.
something out.
I know a fact about something. What?
I'd like to shout something out before you think of charity items.
Can I answer your questions? Okay, hurry up. We've got
Well, you
5
looked
minutes.
like you were trying to
The
think of
sooner you
stuff.
answer the question.
Go.
There's an unsung area of MAGFest. We're a 501c3 educational nonprofit, which means that all of these panels are supposed to be educational, so hopefully you've been educated. That's excellent. So there's another area of MAGFest. Is anyone in here into retro, old, obscure stuff, that sort of a thing? Excellent. So if you go, you know those 2 escalators that go up to tabletop over there? Yeah. If you were, just go through them, make an immediate right and an immediate left, and we've got a huge museum of cool, old, obscure stuff, and you can learn a hell of a lot in there. Back in the MAGFest 7, 8, 9 days, I tried to start a museum that isn't even 10% of what these guys have achieved. It is incredible. You should definitely go through there. I talk to a lot of people every year that are like, oh, I didn't know I could play old DOS games and whatever at MAGFest, because you go down to the game room and there are a pile of consoles, but there's tons of cool old tech in there, tons of information about the cool old tech, and everything is interactive in the museum. So definitely check that out.
Yeah, check out the museum. Okay, to answer your question, I've got a 6-foot-tall statue of the agent from Hitman that was sent out by the developer. I have the very first printed single vinyl, the Father of Death vinyl from the Proto Men, which is entirely out of print. You just can't get that anymore. Murphy from the band went to his robotic basement and found one left over and said, the boys of MAGFest need this. So he shipped it to us. And if you're really into the Proto Men and you want the actual signatures of the people that recorded that album, which is, they changed members a lot, we know where all of them are. We've been in contact with all of them. If you buy it and want Little Steve to do it for you, he will ship the record to those people and they will have the original full band's signatures on the vinyl, which is really cool. Like I said before, ThinkGeek sent us just a ton of Star Wars stuff. I've got a whole bunch of really, really awesome garbage, like Evolve scarves. And I've got somewhere in the neighborhood of 4,000 Five Nights at Freddy masks. And I wish I was exaggerating. What'd you say?
Maybe you'll just get one for going to charity.
No, not at all. It's absolutely bananas. But if you want a scarf from that hit classic from 2015, that blockbuster title, that game no one could ever pick up or put down, Evolve, I've got scarves for you. I'm ready to go. Justin, stand up real quick. This guy, seriously, and I'm not even kidding around, Huey's kind of a dick and I make fun of him a lot, but that's fine. Justin has been emailing companies all year long and has gotten some of the coolest shit for charity donations that I have ever seen. So mega round of applause for Justin. He has busted his ass all year for us. And I owe a huge debt of gratitude to that man right there. He's awesome. I couldn't have picked a better person to send a ridiculous email to. It was the best thing I ever did, because now I don't have to. One more round of applause for Huey, everybody. Just,
You guys are ridiculous.
he's really the linchpin of MAGFest. Let's be honest with each other here. Okay, any other questions?
Will.
Will Henson. What's in the red cup we must know? Well, it was Grandma Circhetti's famous iced tea. Who here is familiar with Dom and his love of butts? That guy loves butts more than anything in the entire world. His passions are out of control. What's that? Oh, that's fine. I've got 4 Dom Loves Butt shirts this weekend, and I'm wearing one of them currently. Yeah, I have 4 of them.
Can I buy one?
So, anyway, his grandmother made the greatest iced tea in the universe. I used to go to his house literally every day when he was living at home still forever ago. And she would give us iced tea all the time. And now Will Henson has perfected the recipe, and it's awesome. Oh, you got it directly from her. That's awesome. All right, I'm going to take 2 more questions, and then I'm going to wrap it up because Christian's going to beat me with a giant sign. I'm going to take you first. Do we have a coat check? No, we do not have a coat check. If you'd like to organize a coat check for next year, we're taking volunteers for that. But good luck, because you're dealing with people's personal property on a ticket-based system, and that is a fucking nightmare. I don't want nothing to do with it. Who's next? One last question. Boom. Oxford, Massachusetts.
N&J Donuts at 315 Main Street, Oxford, Massachusetts.
That's an exact location, so we got your back. You're set. I'm sure they deliver, but boy howdy would that be a charge. Uber Eats, $900.
Last thing.
And you might have to get the driver a donut.
Last thing ever.
Last thing, I promise. So, you guys have heard of Man-at-Arms? Right, they're blacksmiths, right? And you know that like Vince DiCola is here doing Transformers stuff, right? All right, great. There'll be Transformers vinyls at Rock Island. It's gonna be great. Anyway, so
And he's
with
doing
all
a
this
set with Lonely Rolling
Transformers
Stars. Shout out.
There's Transformers stuff, but Man-at-Arms, they made the Optimus Prime sword, and they're bringing it with them. They have 2 tables. They're just showing stuff off. They're selling shirts or something, but like that's it. These are giant, heavy-ass things, man.
I think we also
they're sharp.
failed to mention-
Nobody can touch them, really. But you can look at them, and they'll have a couple of tables down at the marketplace somewhere whenever the marketplace gets me their list.
Okay.
I think we also
In the
left
guidebook.
out Ninja Gaiden, which maybe should get a mention.
Oh, yeah, Ninja Gaiden. And
Does anyone like
the
Ninja Gaiden?
Sonic Adventure Music Experience. Like, there's a bunch of
Both the
vinyls over
coder
at
and the
Rock
musician
Island.
are here.
Like, if you want any band merch, really, it's at Rock Island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rock Island is just on the other side of the atrium, on the convention center side of that level.
So
I
just
think Master Sword and DJ Robo Rob is the only ones in Marketplace.
Gotcha. All right, I have to wrap this up, or I'm going to get
Sorry.
beat in the face by the person sitting
who here
next to me
wants to
who's
see
taking
Adam
it
get
over.
beat in the face?
$5,000 for charity. It will be yours.
There you go.
I will do things for children. I'm ready. I'm going to hand this all. Not like that. Get the hell out of here. No.
He will cut pillows for
I
charity.
will cut pillows for charity. Okay, so I'm going to hand this off to Paul, who is going to hand this off to, I believe, Donnelly. And seriously, the goal of this event is to participate, to make a zillion new best friends, to see awesome concerts, play awesome video games, and just be the partiest people around in the universe. So have an awesome MAGFest, and let's have a blast.
All right.